Wendy Bauer, and I lead our automotive and manufacturing industry work here at AWS. Have you ever thought that you would see so much innovation happening so fast in the manufacturing industry as we are today? I've spent the entirety of my nearly 30-year career in the automotive industry with automotive OEMs, Tier 1 suppliers, and now technology providers. My role with AWS provides me the opportunity to engage with global automotive and manufacturing customers who see the power of data and technology and how it will and is transforming their businesses at an incredible pace never seen before. Today, I'm going to discuss the unique opportunity with AWS in the cloud for the broader manufacturing and automotive industry, from how we are working with customers as strategic global partners to what differentiates AWS and our offerings for automotive and manufacturing, and importantly, why now is the time to move to the cloud. The manufacturing industry, of course, if you know it well, is complex, containing many sub-industries, from discrete manufacturing, such as automotive, aerospace, or electronics, in process manufacturing, such as chemical, agrochemical, steel production, and more. While many of the challenges across these industries are common, there are also very unique challenges and opportunities as well. Automotive, for example, is an industry with passionate stakeholders who see the future of mobility to be more safe and sustainable and customer-centric than ever before. In agriculture, we're seeing teams working to feed the world in safe and responsible manners through more efficient farming operations and improving the connectivity between farming, markets, and end customers. Each of these industries are feverishly working on their transformation. At AWS, our vision is to bring sustainable mobility, products, services, and solutions to our customer through our unique collaboration and innovation. To help, AWS is focused on innovation by bringing purpose-built industry services and purpose-built industry solutions together with our partners, and in helping customers solve their most complex transformational challenges. We're helping companies bring these products and services to market in the way that we work with them. And importantly, we're helping customers accelerate bringing software-defined everything to the world. This requires that we help them also modernize software development methodologies, tools, and skills. Most of these innovative companies representing the manufacturing industry, many of them are over 100 years old. Their expertise and their knowledge is incredible and powerful. Yet, as they look to transform, they're also finding barriers that require change. So what are your biggest challenges when it comes to getting value from data and operating in the cloud? It's no secret that both business and technology advancements have led to an inordinate amount of data being created every day. In fact, the manufacturing industry has more data than any other industry in the world. It's a data-rich environment with an estimated 1,800 petabytes of data per year. That's 2 times as much as any other industry. As more and more devices are being connected each year, those figures, of course, are naturally going to grow. A forecast by IDC estimates that there will be 55.7 billion connected IoT devices by 2025, generating an almost 80 billion zettabytes of data. Who actually knows anymore what a zettabyte of data is? I just simply know it's huge. Much of this data can be extremely valuable for customers and businesses if it is managed in the right way. Organizations need the ability to reliably store and access this large data volume. They also need to manage different types of data, They need to leverage incredible compute power to run machine learning and AI against it to get the insights out of it. They also need to identify the right information for the right individuals at the right time. Of course, doing this with increasing resiliency, lowering cost, and improving productivity. Those are a lot of challenges our customers have to manage. Now, layer on top of it all of the data management problems with normal business challenges our manufacturing customers are facing daily. They're attempting to operate and achieve scale with fragmented data silos and on-premise solutions, while they're simultaneously solving complex engineering problems or supply chain challenges. They've got customers, B2B and B2C, who their demands and expectations are growing and changing. And of course, things like commodity prices continue to increase. So many of these problems, you say, are not new. So what's the issue? Take these normal problems, layer on the data management problem, and oh, by the way, this trend to software-defined everything. Customers are also now having to modernize software development capabilities at the same time. So the promise of software-defined features, they're becoming more important to buyers, whether it's a vehicle, an aircraft engine, industrial equipment, or even household appliances. Manufacturers are building these software features into everything, and they're building service models around them. Software-defined features are also accommodating customers' shifting expectations. As we do this, software competence is becoming a major differentiator for customers. Again, the cloud will help with this transformation, and the sense of urgency is now. At AWS, we understand our customers have very unique needs. And to achieve our vision of helping enable bringing sustainable products and services to market faster, we also understand that AWS has to continuously deepen our industry knowledge and our expertise with builders that understand these industry domains. And this is what we're doing. It's important so that we can listen closer and interpret more effectively what our customers' biggest pain points are. As we understand those complexities, we often find that AWS needs to build purpose-built services and solutions. And other times, we find it's more effective for our partners who also have trusted relationships with our customers to do the same. At AWS, our manufacturing and automotive business, we are proud to have the broadest industry-focused partner network on the globe, and it's one that we're committed to continuing to invest in for the benefit of our customers. As we start diving into the many challenges across the manufacturing industry sector, we're continuously seeing the importance of identifying and solving for high-value use cases. However, more holistically, we see the need to take these individual use cases and think about the dimensions of the customer lifetime journey holistically, as well as the product journey. And as the world becomes more connected and software-defined, data we're seeing is increasingly needed in both of these dimensions. Companies, therefore, must be prepared to effectively and efficiently manage data while enabling innovation around both of these dimensions. Today, I'm going to highlight how technology, particularly AI, and the cloud is helping across both the customer and the product journeys. So let's begin with the customer journey. We simplify this journey into 4 phases, the first being discovery and pre-sales. By analyzing all of the data in the background, AI is able to make personalized recommendations for specific products, configurations, or preferences based on previous purchases and, of course, recent aggregate usage patterns. As companies then look to bring disparate data sets together from across engagement channels and partner data sets, services like AWS Clean Rooms are able to help customers and their partners more easily and securely collaborate and analyze collective data sets without sharing or copying one another's underlying data sets. To then deliver tailored messages to customers, services like Amazon Pinpoint are able to offer a customized tool to deliver customer communications across channels and segments and campaigns at scale. Moving on to negotiations, purchase, and finance. Financial services arms and back offices teams are using AI to automate back-end processing and submission of things like loan or financing documents, and the ability to incorporate fraud detection and offer personalized incentives while they're at it. Here, Amazon customers are using Amazon Lex. It's a fully managed artificial intelligence service with advanced natural language models to design, build, test, and deploy conversational interfaces. In after sales, AI is being used to support the customer here as well by suggesting consumable purchases and suggesting maintenance by automatically scheduling service appointments. For outbound and inbound requests, capabilities like Amazon Connect, which is a cloud contact center, is used to provide superior customer service at a lower cost and improved agent productivity. And lastly, retention and loyalty. AI is analyzing multiple sets of customer data to create a more complete image of the customer persona and their lifestyle preferences as they change over their lifetime. AI is then recommending highly personalized, out-of-the-box experiences to surprise and delight customers, keeping them directly connected with your brand. With Amazon Personalize, we're offering a managed machine learning services that uses your data to generate item recommendations and user segments. When customers' data is dispersed across multiple systems, which is frequently the case, AWS Entity Resolution is helping to match, link, and enhance related records without the need to build custom solutions. AWS is working with hundreds, if not thousands, of industry leaders across the broad manufacturing sector, from automotive companies to aerospace, heavy equipment, chemical, agrochemical, and more. Throughout today's session, we're going to share a few of those great examples of how AWS is collaborating with our customers, and now in particular, this customer lifetime journey space. First, with Cox Automotive and its family of brands that you're probably quite familiar with, AutoTrader, Dealer.com, and Kelley Blue Book. Cox Automotive is using AI across all 4 of the customer journey pillars. With AI, Cox is creating reliable, predictive insights for marketing solutions such as advertising, website personalization, vehicle recommendations, email marketing, and more. Cox Automotive built its identity graph using our managed graph database service, Amazon Neptune. And it's used data science to match online and offline data sets and to group data into households. Second, UNEX. UNEX's mission is to create intelligent ovens for the food service industry, adapting temperature and humidity to optimize cooking processes as an example. UNEX revolutionized its customer service arm by using Amazon Connect, a simple-to-use, omnichannel cloud contact center. By going all in on AWS, UNEX has experienced an overall increase in cost savings, optimization, and customer satisfaction. And recently, we announced the integration of AWS IoT FleetWise and IoT Core into Salesforce's Automotive Cloud. This is a new integration making it easier for customers to get near real-time insights from their fleets to enrich the customer experience. We envision that the opportunity to apply AWS IoT FleetWise is going to be able to be applied to so many other connected products that will similarly enrich the customer experience. Shifting over to the product journey. Here, the cloud can help in many ways, starting with research and development, my personal favorite. By accelerating end-to-end workflows with machine learning models, for example, when you talk about areas like autonomous vehicle development, it can significantly expand software and system verification and validation coverage by creating more comprehensive sets of testing scenarios. Also, as more developers are working remotely, Amazon workspaces are able to securely and offer managed desktop as a service, allowing you to have contact centers everywhere geographically, facilitating remote work, onboarding new contingent workers, and even running powerful, secure desktops for developers and engineers that need to store, access things including proprietary models, designs, and code. Another AWS solution that we found incredibly valuable with our customers here is the Autonomous Driving Data Framework. It's a reference-guided solution that has a collection of modules enabling customers to quickly bootstrap environments for the process and analysis of automated driving data. Just this month, we also launched Research and Engineering Studio on AWS, or RES, to simplify research computing and product design in the cloud. RES is an AWS-supported open source product, enabling IT administrators the ability to provide easy-to-use web portals for scientists and engineers to run technical computing workloads on AWS. It's providing a single pane of glass for users to launch secure virtual desktops to execute those complex workloads. With just a few clicks, engineers can create and connect to Windows and Linux-based virtual desktops with pre-installed applications, shared data, and data analysis capabilities and collaboration tools. Another recent example you may have heard about is our work with Qualcomm. In September of this year, AWS and Qualcomm made a commitment to co-innovating in the automotive industry with an aim to design solutions to streamline the vehicle software development process. Earlier just this month, we launched Amazon EC2 DL2Q instances featuring the Qualcomm Cloud with the AI100 standard accelerator. This is the first milestone of our collaboration commitment. These instances are the first instances to bring Qualcomm's AI technology to the cloud, and it's going to be able to be used to develop and validate performance and accuracy of deep learning models before deploying them on Qualcomm's Snapdragon Ride automotive SoCs. Moving to design optimization. With a clear data strategy and AI/ML capabilities, businesses are attributing things like cost, capacity, and material availability, and how it can be used to fine-tune products at the time of design in order to reduce the overall numbers of iterations. With generative AI, for example, you can also write and optimize code for these software-defined products that we're starting to see. An example here is Amazon Code Whisperer. We're seeing customers use this to do code generation from snippets to full function development. The code can also be evaluated to detect hard-to-find vulnerabilities, then providing suggestions to remediate them immediately. In operations, AI is also already making meaningful impact. Here, AWS has built a number of purpose-built services. For example, Amazon Monitron. Monitron enables predictive maintenance for industrial equipment with machine learning in order to reduce unplanned downtime. Amazon fulfillment centers actually use Amazon Monitron in order to help us meet our customer promises for that on-time delivery you and I have all come to love. Packages at the fulfillment centers daily traverse miles of conveyors and sorter systems, and therefore the fulfillment centers need to have this equipment reliably operating every day. With Amazon Monitron, the fulfillment centers have reduced their unplanned downtime by 69%, and they've saved over $22 million by avoiding unplanned downtime, lost production hours, and late shipment cost. Factory floors, we all know, can be a very expensive place to try out new operations. With services like AWS IoT TwinMaker, you're able to build operational digital twins of physical and digital systems to help mitigate risks. You can create digital visualizations using measurements and analysis from a variety of real-world sensors. And you can use real-world data to monitor the operations, diagnose and correct the errors, and optimize those operations. Or IoT SiteWise, a managed service that makes it easy to collect, store, organize, and monitor data from industrial equipment at scale, is helping you to also make data-driven decisions. And just earlier this month, we also announced extended industry protocols supporting these services as well. AWS IoT SiteWise Edge is also a feature of AWS IoT SiteWise, where you can have the ability to extend cloud capabilities to collect, organize, process, and monitor equipment data on-premise. Take the collection of these service capabilities, customers now have the ability to ingest data from even more industrial protocols in addition to their native OPC UA support. Amazon Lookout for Vision, lastly, is also another fun one, a machine learning service that spots and detects anomalies using computer vision. With Lookout for Vision, manufacturing companies are able to increase quality and reduce operational costs by quickly identifying differences in images of objects at scale. Dafard's, it's a household name in Sweden that manufactures 15 different types of frozen pizzas, over 100 pizzas a minute. They use Amazon Lookout for Vision to ensure that all of their pizzas are adequately covered in cheese and with the correct toppings. With Amazon Lookout for Vision, they're able to automate and scale inspection of diverse product types, such as cheese pizza with vegetables. And they've been able to expand the quality assurance for new product types with limited impact to their operations. Manufacturers typically have complex supply chains, and recent global events have also put focus on better visibility into this complexity. AWS Supply Chain is a capability that we announced last year with cloud-based services to unify data and provide machine learning-powered actionable insights with built-in contextual collaboration and demand planning capabilities. Importantly, it can connect to your existing ERP and supply chain management systems without re-platforming, without upfront licensing fees, and without long-term commitments. Recently, we also launched a new service to easily exchange EDI-based transaction with business partners. This is very important for the manufacturing industry. AWS B2B data interchange helps to further simplify complex supply chain operations by eliminating the time, complexity, and cost to build and manage EDI-based workflows. Let me share with you a great example here, Equipment Depot. They're a large independent material handling equipment supplier and rental source in the US with over 50 branch locations, holding over $22 million in parts inventory and 850 technicians to serve their customers. They're implementing an expansive digital transformation strategy to support their rapid growth, including use of AWS supply chain, providing advanced capabilities that will help them to transform their planning process, improve their inventory levels, and increasing their ability to make data-driven supply decisions. Lastly, in the product experience area, AWS is helping manufacturers to get a rich view of product health, including actionable insights for both the customer and the developer. An example here is AWS IoT Fleetwise, making it easier to collect, transform vehicle data to the cloud in near real time, and to use that data to improve vehicle quality, safety, and autonomy. And at the end of life, for example, it can identify parts to be recycled or replaced. With AWS IoT Fleetwise, customers are also able to take advantage of services' advanced features and interface that they already use to collect their telemetry data. We've also recently announced Connected Mobility Platform Solution 2.0 on AWS, which is helping customers to establish foundational components of a well-architected connected vehicle program. One customer R&D example here is Valeo Siemens e-Automotive, an electrical component manufacturer who migrated its on-premise deployment of Siemens Teamcenter to AWS in order to better respond to unpredictable changes in the electric car market. After getting the PLM system up and running in only 9 months, they scaled it from 400 to 1,200 users over a 5-year period of rapid growth, almost with zero unplanned downtime. What brings all of these areas together? It's where I started with the topic of data and a massive amount of data that we know we're all faced with. This is where AWS Industrial Fabric can help. Data is the foundation of any digital transformation effort. And having industrial data strategy is critical to enabling business teams to easily and effectively leverage data to address a variety of use cases across organizations. AWS, together with our partners, is helping to create data management architectures that are enabling the scalable, unified, and integrated mechanism to harness data as an asset. We call it the Industrial Data Fabric. The IDF solution includes an open industrial data architecture that is meant to facilitate best design practices for storage and easy accessibility of industrial data, with interoperability between AWS services and AWS partner solutions. This enables manufacturers to ensure they're not going to be locked into proprietary data schemas. A great example of how customers are using these purpose-built solutions is with Siemens. Siemens is a leader in industrial manufacturing, automation equipment, and software, and they've combined their leading accelerator platform with the AWS cloud. Here to tell you more about that today is Tony, the President and CEO of Siemens Digital Industry Software.
Thank you, Wendy, and it's good to be here. I would also like to thank you on behalf of Siemens. Last night we received the award for the Global Manufacturing and Industrial Industry Partner of the Year, and also the Global Design Partner of the Year. So thank you so much, AWS and Wendy. You know, at Siemens, we're on a mission. Our mission is to create a better future for anyone, so they can turn today's ideas into tomorrow's products and experiences. The challenge is when I go talk to customers about that, say, yeah, but we've got all kinds of technology coming our way. What do we do with all of this? We've got AI, we've got IT-OT convergence, industrial IoT, we've got the metaverse, we've got sustainability. We got a lot of stuff coming our way. And then on top of that, we've got all this data. And Wendy just spoke about this onslaught of data that you have to deal with. A typical factory, for example, for us, a single factory can generate over 2,200 terabytes of data in 1 month. So our customers tell me, I don't have a problem with data, getting data, I have a problem with what do I do with the data and how do I take care of it. So we work on this. We work on it to make sure you can make decisions faster and with confidence. So how do we do this? At Siemens, we spent over a decade now investing into a portfolio of technologies These technologies are to create what we call the comprehensive digital twin. And what do we mean by that? A digital twin, the value of the digital twin is how closely you can make the real world and the digital world align. The closer you can make that, the more value you have. And so what we've invested in is to make sure it's not just about mechanical design. What do you do with the software? What do you do with electronics? What do you do with manufacturing engineering, manufacturing process planning, the automation, the service of the products? How do you bring all these things together? And so we invested in that to make sure that we have this solution called Siemens Xcelerator, where we bring together our services, our domain knowledge, our software, everything we have to help our customers create a digital enterprise so they can move faster, be more flexible, and more scalable in the solutions. And how do we manage this data? Well, we use Teamcenter. Teamcenter is the most proven, the most scalable, the most successful product lifecycle management tool in the world. And with AWS, we can now take that solution that primarily has been restricted to medium to very large size accounts, and we can address small, medium-sized businesses as well. And we do that with what we define as Teamcenter X. This is the same Teamcenter that's running in the cloud as a SaaS solution on AWS. We've taken all the knowledge we've had, decades of experience we have at Teamcenter, we bundled that into a number of solutions that give immediate value to our customers from what we've learned and how we've applied that. And so the other part of it, though, is the natural advantage you always have going to the cloud and with SaaS is you can see we're cutting costs for our customers, 60% reduction in cost reductions, software always up to date. I can scale up and down easily. You know, I've got to make sure that I've got the highest standards in place for for security and reliability. The time to value is much quicker because of all of this, and I can reach a global audience, global customer much easier in the way I work. One example of this, we have a customer that was running their PLM solution on-prem using Teamcenter X. They lowered their cost of ownership by 54%. 54%. And by the way, it ran 40% faster what they had on-prem when they went to a SaaS environment. So the economics are very clear for our customers, and it's making a big difference for them. Another thing Wendy spoke about was AI. And so our customers, they spend a lot of time looking and searching for information and all that data that they have. And we said, we've got to find a way to make this easier for our customers. So what we're showing here is AWS Bedrock, where we've enabled that to use generative AI search inside of Teamcenter. So I can use natural language processing and deep learning, where I go in and I just say, look, what factors do I need to consider in selecting a solid state contactor? That's how I speak to it, in natural language, and it goes and finds this information for me. What it brings me is all the documentation, all the material, everything associated with what I have to do to create this contactor, right? And so what we're doing every day is we're looking through what we have in that data and making it easier for our customers using generative AI to be able to get to some of the things that were not always so easy, actually mundane tasks that they had to work through. Wendy spoke about software-defined products. I can't think of any product that has had more change in the last 5 years than what you see with automotive and the rise of electronics and the rise of software in the vehicle. And so we define this as a software-defined vehicle. How do I make this thing all come together? Because I've got data coming from hardware, from software integration. I've got data coming from manufacturing and factory automation, data coming from model-based systems engineering. So how do we leverage this? How do we analyze it? How do we make better decisions with this? I'll show you what we're doing a little bit with AWS. You remember that Teamcenter thing I spoke about? That's going to manage the engineering BOM, manufacturing BOM, service BOM, bill of material. All of those things are managed through Teamcenter and synchronized in a single source of truth. Now we do that. The front end of this, the design, the analytics, the systems engineering, the model-based systems engineering, all of that's managed through Teamcenter as well. And so what I have to do is I bring all this together and I say, I want to integrate the product lifecycle management piece with the application lifecycle management piece so that I can create a continuous integration, continuous delivery, and continuous commissioning for an end-to-end flow through the software definition of this vehicle. And we do that together with AWS. So how do we do that? You can see on the far left, we talk about software development. Using AWS Cloud9 and AWS Copilot, We've been able to decouple the software development process from the hardware and shift left in that process definition. It enables OEMs and suppliers to be able to collaborate together easily in the definition of the software. Then I move to the next step. I want to validate this software. I want to make sure that this is going to work the way I expect it to work within the integrated circuit and the work that I have. So we have a solution called PAVE 360 from Siemens. And what we do is, this is a virtual verification that the code that I'm working is going to work in the proper way before I start etching it into silicon on an integrated circuit. And I do that through our emulators. I can take all of this and emulate that software, make sure it's right before I go to silicon. Another shift left in the process, making sure that I've got it all figured out. And then finally, I deploy it on the software on a high-performance compute center so that I have headroom for future updates of the software. I can integrate to my after-sales software development process, to the IoT, all the things that Wendy spoke about before is all part of the solution that we've defined for software-defined vehicle. But this same process works for any software-defined product that we can bring together. So if you have that, you really want to talk to us about what we're doing with AWS to make this process a little bit easier. Another piece we bring together is Mendix. Mendix is our best-in-class, low-code application development solution. What this allows us to do is augment or extend our applications, and you don't have to be a software developer to do this. So the people that have the domain knowledge, they're looking at all this data, know what they want to do with it, can build their own applications very quickly with a low-code solution. What we did was, then we said, well, how do we integrate this then? Because part of our strategy is being open. We want to make sure we can grab data, we can integrate to other systems, whether it's competitors, whether it's homegrown solutions, whatever it is. How do we get to this information? So we've integrated this by building connectors between the industrial data fabric and what we're doing with Mendix to be able to have access to this data, to ingest data, to contextualize the data, and publish the data. So when you think about it, I spoke a little bit so far about this idea of data and the management we use with Teamcenter, how we bring it together. Then I spoke about how we're hosting this on an AWS environment, a SaaS environment. I'm using Mendix to bring it together. Now I'm going to show you an application or a solution we put together for a customer by bringing all these pieces together. This next video I'm going to show you is from Freyr, which is a battery startup company, and they wanted to use the industrial metaverse to be able to show how they could build their factory and also show this factory solution to investors and everybody else they want to work with as they build out their business. So we start with a Mendix app right on the front end where I see the information. I fly into the factory. And this is a simulation. It's not an animation. It's like a game. I can go wherever I want to go in this factory and find information about what's going on. In this case, I'm going to the mixer for some of the chemicals that go into this. It's a physics-based model. You can see the operational effectiveness of that equipment. I know everything about it coming through Mendix back to the app. Here I can simulate the chemicals. This is using our computational fluid dynamics to show you exactly how these materials are going to mix together in this physics-based model. I can go to the robotic system that's there. Again, understand everything that's happening. And it's a two-way street. I can modify something in the factory, I can modify it in the virtual world and see that interaction back and forth. I'm immersing myself into that factory. I then fly through and I see the energy backup system that's in place. Same thing. I can find out all that data. I'm now making sense out of it through an application, through a window to what I see. I finally go into the factory and the assembly process where I can simulate all of this with our manufacturing process software that we have. But I also might want to check out the ergonomics of the actual individuals doing the assembly, the stresses and the strains of being able to assemble and put all this together. Because even the people that I have modeled here, physics-based models to be able to understand what's happening in that factory. And so you can see this is how we bring all of these pieces together so that data can be used in a way that makes sense to our customers. Again, I spoke about IT-OT convergence, industrial IoT, metaverse, AI, all of those things are part of what you just saw and how we bring it together. We then talk about the infinite amount of data. I'm using that so our customers can make decisions faster and make them easier and more confidently in the way they work. And it must be working, because if you look at what's happening today with our customers, in automotive, for example, all top 23 OEMs use Accelerator today. The top 20 electric vehicle manufacturers in the world use Accelerator. In battery, 8 out of the 10 startups and new companies doing this are all using us for battery production. 87% of the battery production in the world today is done with Siemens for automotive. In aerospace and defense, 100% of those customers use our products. Almost every jet engine in the world is designed, manufactured with our software and produced with our software. And consumer electronics as well. 9 out of 10 customers today using everything we have with Siemens Xcelerator. So look, I said we're on a mission, and that mission is really how can we work to where we can say that we can turn all ideas, all of our today's ideas, into tomorrow's products and experiences. So thank you so much for having us here today. With that, I'm going to turn it back over to Wendy.
Thank you, Tony, for sharing your great insights, and congratulations again to the Siemens team for their partner recognition. So we've talked about AWS purpose-built services and solutions and how customers are using them to solve their industry challenges. And you just saw from Tony some great examples of how we're doing that together with incredibly important industry partners. Touching on Gen AI for a minute, we've infused it a little bit in today's session, but we would be remiss to not focus on it for just a few moments more intentionally in what it is doing for the manufacturing industries. For those who may not know, Amazon has been developing machine learning capabilities for more than 20 years. And as of today, we have more than 25 machine learning services available to our customers. That same commitment towards innovation is continuing now around generative AI, with our differentiated full-stack offering, including our own custom silicon. But when we start to think about Gen AI, I often wonder how our customers in this industry are preparing to use Gen AI, and if they're moving fast enough. And how is this industry going to collaborate differently to bring the value of Gen AI to life? Let me give you a specific example looking at automotive. By 2030, it is forecasted that $74.5 billion will be spent on AI in the automotive industry alone. While that's huge, and a 20 times increase in investment over the next seven years, that number, while staggering, is actually only 4% of the estimated opportunity for AI across all industries. The 2030 investment is estimated to be an astounding $1.85 trillion across all industries. As the auto industry, as an example, works to undertake this incredible investment increase, companies across this vast, interconnected network need to think about how we collaborate differently to move faster. Similarly, the same trends apply to all of the manufacturing sub-industries. So why artificial intelligence for manufacturing? We see that the world has captured the imagination through topics of Gen AI. But manufacturing companies are now working rapidly to think about how to leverage these capabilities to address customer needs for personalized products, those faster decisions employees need to make, and their business operations. But far beyond that, it's exceeding individual businesses and looking across industries and even the world. Think about the opportunity to democratize mobility and giving underserved populations the ability to move, or democratizing agricultural innovation and giving the world the ability to eat nutritiously. Ultimately, AI and generative AI capabilities are going to be doing just that. Of course, in getting there, we have a ton of ground to cover, but I want to show you two quick examples that reinforce the fact that it is here and now. Torc Robotics is an autonomous development driving company who's focused on the automotive industry and is really moving fast with generative AI. Torc Robotics is using Gen AI on AWS to make it easier for engineers to find scenarios in petabytes of recorded driving data. Here, Gen AI is also able to create simulations to test vehicles' responses to driving scenarios that may otherwise be deemed unsafe. Another example with Kone, a global leader in the escalator industry. Kone is using Amazon Bedrock to power their future technician AI assistant capabilities. And they're leveraging complex technical documentation and case libraries to speed customer service out in the field. We're finding that Gen AI is now at a tipping point. The convergence of tech progress and the value potential is being seen more clearly than ever before. With the massive proliferation of data, the availability of highly scalable compute, and the advancements of machine learning, AI, and now Gen AI is finally taking shape. We now have the ability to blend all of these capabilities as we think about the journey towards software-defined everything. One of the leaders in the transition towards software-defined vehicles and products is Honda. Honda is a mobility company powered by everyone's dreams, creating mobility that helps and inspires people in a wide range of fields such as motorcycles, automobiles, power products, and aircraft. Bringing software-defined capabilities to all areas of mobility and power products is Honda's mission. They're embarking on a journey towards their 2030 vision statement, which is to serve people worldwide with the joy of expanding their life's potential. Today, we're privileged to have two Honda leaders here with us to tell us more about this journey. I would first like to introduce Tadafumi Nagawa-san.
Thank you, Wendy. Hello, everyone. I'm Tadafumi Nogawa. I'm leading connected vehicle area in Honda. I'm very happy to be here to share the collaboration with Amazon AWS. So, this is Honda first original product. So this 50cc small engine is implemented on the bicycle. This is our first invention by our founder, Soichiro Honda. Honda started by developing this motorized bicycle. And then we expanded our reach to broader set of mobility business such as motorcycle, vehicle, aircraft, power product, marine, robot, and more. Honda is now supplying 20 million units per year to our customer all over the world. So that means we have potentially connected customer in the world. For connected mobility services, we started our telematics service in 1993 on-premise. And then we moved to AWS Cloud in 2013. So the cloud technology was initially applied to automobile platform. And then, so we expanded to motorcycle as well. And now, as we progress toward not just software-defined vehicle, but software-defined mobility, which call it SDM. We are drastically restructuring our software engineering organization to realize cross-domain culture and deep collaboration between in-car and out-car. As we revolutionize our platform to realize software-defined mobility, we have initiated our collaboration in the software development area. So in Honda, assuming OEM as well, that each department, each certain parts in territory has not been working independently, and collaboration to work on holistic digital service was not accelerating. For example, the schedule of hardware requirement decision and cloud development was not totally different. As a result, we have a huge struggle of new digital feature development as end-to-end. Then we couldn't build an end-to-end optimized architecture with in-car and out-car and develop with the speed which SDV would require. From now and onwards, as we build our new SDM platform, importance of cross-domain activity will increase significantly. In addition to realize long-term customer value, we need to break away from sell-out model. In other words, we need to develop features that deepen customer engagement and customer permanent value at baksoku speed. The baksoku is Japanese expression at super explosive speed. To do so, we need to build a SDM entire features on SDM platform as a cross-domain organization rapidly and efficiently in agile way. One of our activities is digital proving ground. The platform will be combination of software development, simulation and testing, data analytics from data vehicle and CI/CD pipeline designed to support cross-domain activities with in-car and out-car on our same cloud. Based on this platform, we are going to develop SDM entire platform to work cross-domain using cutting-edge services like AWS IoT FreightWise. Honda released our global connected service on AWS in 2030s by utilizing the technology we gathered from Internavi, our previous connected platform in Japan. From 26, we started utilizing a serverless technology like AWS Lambda and AWS FleetWise, and also AWS IoT Core to connect to in-car and out-car. With the knowledge and asset, we are very confident that we can strategically align with AWS and create value to build a cross-domain model involving an in-car team. Above all, Amazon has a mechanism that can build and launch the business at the baksoku pace. That's why we chose Amazon and AWS as our partner to revolutionize our business and development. That's why we chose Amazon and AWS as a partner. Also, we Honda want to reference background and knowledge when AWS was born from Amazon, so that SDM platform can support Honda new digital new era as a Honda's new digital engine. To realize our software-defined mobility vision, technically, we will use cloud for in-car and out-car software development and use AWS technology like AWS IoT FleetWise for extracting the data when needed, and accelerate the vehicle development process at a speed that has never been accomplished. From organizational standpoint, we SDM will work together very closely as one team to maximize our cross-domain value and revolutionize at backstop speed. From this, Honda will maximize the value by software and cloud as a Honda new digital engine and change every Honda mobility to software defined. And then Honda will realize, transcend, and augment of mobility and create a new value. Thank you very much. I will take over to Jay Joseph from American Honda.
Thank you, Nogawa-san. Hello, everyone. Nogawa-san talked to you a little bit about the creation of our products, really the product journey portion of the equation. I'm going to take that forward to the customer journey portion of the equation and complete the whole picture a little bit. But before I do, I want to talk briefly about this transition from ICE, gasoline ICE, to electrified. Because we need to start with this. Electrification is not the goal. Carbon neutral is the goal. Electrification is a key pathway that's right in front of us that we have to capitalize on. But we have to remember the ultimate goal is carbon neutral. We're going to use electrification to get there. And that's important because the evolution from carbon-centric fuel sources to electrification, from molecules of gasoline to electrons, enables us to change people's entire relationship with energy for personal mobility. And that change means that we can get in touch with our customers every day, every time they put energy into and take energy out of the car, whether it's for mobility or other purposes. That's so different from the way we do things today, where we sell a customer a car and send them on their way to make their own choices about energy. We now have a chance to be part of solving their energy needs in their vehicle, for mobility, at their home, and we can use the vehicle to carry energy to other locations with them. So it's a complete change of customers' relationship with energy and their relationship with OEMs. And that's what we're really excited about, and that's what we're talking about today. It's a customer-centric energy management system that we're trying to create. Now, of course, that means we have to make a lot of new things. We have to curate those charging experiences. And I'll talk a bit about that more in a moment. And that doesn't matter if it's the public charging experience, the at-home charging experience, the at-work charging experience. We have to make all of that the same Honda charging experience for our Honda customers so they know what to expect. And ultimately, when we've got good V2G in place, they can put energy into their car and out of their car thoughtlessly, effortlessly, and create value, actually put money in their pockets. Now, our roadmap for that, of course, relies on managing the electric vehicle state of charge and anticipating that, which of course means studying patterns of behavior and then generating insights from those patterns of behavior and offering solutions to our customers. That means that we have to create new customer applications that enable us to do that. And finally, we have to have vehicle-to-grid interconnect and the ability to put energy into and out of the grid as needed, effectively letting our customers arbitrage the variations in energy value throughout the day. And if you think about that, that's so different than the way we move today. Today, we put liquid energy in a big hole in the side of the car that gets pumped forward to a propulsion unit, and it only has one purpose and one value. It's got the value of a gallon of gasoline from the time it's pumped in until it's spent, and it only moves the vehicle and its occupants and cargo. with electricity, we can put the energy in, ideally renewable energy goes in, and probably at off-peak times of day, and then it can move the vehicle, but it can also back power the grid, and therefore generate value for customers. Oops, I almost went too far. Okay, so the real question is, how are we going to do that? And this is what we envision, that based on a foundation of AWS, this all has so much data that being generated and being utilized constantly that we need to have a solid backbone, a solid foundation. So we see that living on AWS, and then using that to generate data from all of the patterns of behavior that we see, generating insights so we can feed those insights back into the ecosystem and continue to evolve, grow, and offer new solutions to our customers, as you see in that illustration. So I'm going to keep it short today and leave it at that, but now you've got a taste of how we're connecting the product journey that Nogawa-san described with the customer journey that we envision in the future, enabling electrification to make people's lives better. Thanks, everyone.
And I'm going to bring us home here, but hopefully throughout today's session, you would understand why I think I have one of the coolest jobs on the planet, working with these amazing customers and partners. I'm going to leave you with two takeaways. First, what we do in the way that we're working in close collaboration with our customers and our partners is core to how we work and how we innovate and how we believe this industry truly will transform. A shout out that in 2023, AWS launched our partner competency programs for both automotive and the manufacturing industries. And if you haven't heard about this yet, I encourage you to take time to learn more. Second, in my closing slide, I shared with you in the beginning that we are on a mission to help the manufacturing industries tackle their challenges and transform the industries that we all love. And in doing that, so we're particularly working hard to help them understand how to benefit from and adapt new technologies. We're helping customers redefine their vision for their future of mobility, products, the operations, and the services that they offer their customers. And we're enabling and actualizing faster, better transformation through powerful collaboration across the industry landscapes. I'm super excited about the momentum that's building and the opportunities that these industries have with the power of data and technology. AWS has the path to help you and our customers together get to those future visions. I believe that our industry's only path forward is together, and I believe the future is ours to create. And we look forward to continuing to innovate and collaborate with each of you. Have a great rest of your day.